Hey everyone, most medical device companies focus heavily on one thing, getting the approval. But here's the reality nobody talks about enough. Approval is not the finish line. In fact, for regulators, approval is often just the beginning. And if you're planning to sell medical devices in Hong Kong, then you absolutely need to understand post-market surveillance or PMS. Now, honestly, this is one of the most ignored areas in global medical device compliance. Companies spend months preparing technical files, thousands on registration, huge effort entering the market, and then completely neglect what happens after launch. Result? Complaints handled incorrectly, adverse events ignored, regulatory reporting failures, distributor conflicts, product recalls, reputation damage, market suspension risks. And here's the painful truth. Some companies lose their market not because their device was unsafe, but because their post-market surveillance system was weak. So in this complete guide, we'll cover everything. What PMS actually means, why Hong Kong expects PMS compliance, full step-by-step PMS process, complaint handling requirements, vigilance reporting, adverse event management, recall procedures, trend analysis, documentation requirements, timeline, cost breakdown, common mistakes with real examples, how to build a strong PMS system. And trust me, if you're selling devices in Hong Kong in 2026, this video could save you massive compliance problems, costly recalls, regulatory penalties, and serious business damage. Let's begin. Part 1. What is post-market surveillance? What is PMS? Post-market surveillance means monitoring your medical device after it enters the market. In simple terms, you must continuously evaluate whether your device remains safe, effective, compliant, reliable in real-world use. Why is PMS important? Because real-world use reveals things that may not appear during design phase, testing phase, clinical evaluation. Patients use devices differently. Hospitals use devices differently. Unexpected situations happen. And regulators want manufacturers to actively monitor those risks. PMS is not optional. Many companies think, we already got listed under MDACS, we're done. Wrong. Under Medical Device Administrative Control System, manufacturers and local responsible persons still have ongoing responsibilities. Real example. A monitoring device showed intermittent software freezing in hospitals. Manufacturer ignored early complaints because issue frequency was low. Months later, more complaints appeared. Hospitals escalated issue. Regulatory attention increased. Result? Product recall, distributor pressure, reputation damage. Key lesson: small complaints can become major regulatory crises. Part 2. Who is responsible for PMS in Hong Kong? Key responsible parties. Post-market responsibilities may involve manufacturer, local responsible person or LRP, importer, distributor. But the manufacturer remains ultimately responsible for device safety. Role of LRP. The LRP often supports complaint communication, adverse event reporting, authority interaction, recall coordination. Common industry problem. Manufacturers assume distributor will handle everything. But distributors may ignore complaints, delay escalation, fail to document issues properly. Result: serious compliance gaps. Real example. Distributor received repeated complaints but never formally escalated them. Manufacturer discovered issue months later. Result: regulatory concern, damaged trust. Key insight: PMS responsibilities must be clearly defined. Part 3. Step-by-step PMS process. Step 1. Establish PMS plan. This is the foundation. PMS plan should include complaint collection process, trend analysis, adverse event reporting, recall procedures, communication channels, responsibilities, review frequency. Common mistake. Companies create generic PMS plans copied from templates. Result: system fails during real incidents. Your PMS system must match your actual device risks. Step 2. Complaint handling system. What counts as a complaint? Any communication related to device failure, performance issue, user concern, safety issue, labeling problem. Complaint process should include complaint intake, documentation, investigation, root cause analysis, corrective action, closure. Huge mistake: treating complaints informally through email or phone only. Result: no traceability, no trend visibility. Real example: hospital repeatedly mentioned packaging seal issues. Company never documented complaints formally. Later, multiple affected batches discovered. Result: expanded recall. Step 3. Adverse event management. This is one of the most critical areas. Adverse event examples: patient injury, device malfunction, incorrect diagnosis, software error, electrical failure. Required actions: immediate assessment, severity evaluation, investigation, reporting if necessary. Common mistake: delaying investigations because we need more information first. But regulators expect timely action. Key lesson: delayed reporting can create bigger regulatory problems than the event itself. Step 4. Trend analysis. This is where smart companies detect problems early. Trend analysis includes complaint frequency, failure patterns, regional issues, user feedback trends. Mistake: analyzing complaints individually only. Result: missed systemic problems. Example: single complaints about overheating seemed minor individually. Trend analysis later showed common battery issue. Early detection could have prevented recall escalation. Step 5. Corrective and preventive action. Kappa. If problems appear, investigate root cause, implement corrections, prevent recurrence. Kappa. Examples: design changes, labeling updates, supplier improvements, software patches. Common problem: weak root cause analysis. Companies often fix symptoms instead of actual causes. Step 6. Field Safety Corrective Action, FSA. Sometimes devices require recall, software update, safety notice, device replacement. Important: fast communication is critical. Biggest mistake: trying to hide problems to protect brand reputation. Result: larger regulatory consequences later. Transparency usually reduces long-term damage. Step 7. Periodic review. PEMS is continuous. Regular reviews should evaluate complaint trends, risk profile, device performance, need for updates. Part 4. Documents required. Essential PEMS documents. Core PEMS documents. PEMS plan, complaint handling procedure, vigilance procedure, recall procedure, Kappa procedure. Operational records, complaint logs, investigation reports, adverse event records, Kappa records. Analytical documents, trend analysis reports, periodic reviews, risk updates. Common documentation problems: missing investigation records, weak root cause analysis, no closure evidence, inconsistent complaint tracking. Result: regulatory concern during review or inspection. Part 5. Timeline PEMS. Timeline reality PEMS begins the moment your device enters the market, and it continues throughout the entire product life cycle. Key timelines: complaint review, immediate intake recommended, serious incident investigation as fast as possible. Kappa implementation depends on risk severity. Periodic PEMS review, quarterly or annually depending on device risk. Common delay problem: companies wait too long before investigating complaints. Result: escalated risk, regulatory exposure. Part 6. Cost Breakdown. Very important section. PEMS cost areas. System setup. $3,000 to $20,000 plus. Complaint management systems. Software and operational cost. CAPA activities. Investigation costs. Recall management can become very expensive. Consulting support depends on complexity. Hidden costs. Product recalls, market suspension, distributor loss, legal exposure, reputation damage. Real example. Company ignored early complaint trends to save money. Months later, major field action required. Final losses became hundreds of thousands of dollars. Key insight. Good PEMS systems reduce long-term business risk. Part 7. Biggest mistakes to avoid. Mistake 1. Treating PEMS as paperwork. Result: weak real-world monitoring. Mistake 2. Ignoring small complaints. Result: missed trends. Mistake 3. Weak distributor communication. Result: delayed issue escalation. Mistake 4. No CAPA system. Result: repeated failures. Mistake 5. Poor documentation. Result: no traceability. Mistake 6. Delayed adverse event handling. Result: regulatory concern. Mistake 7. Trying to hide problems. Result: bigger crisis later. Key lesson. PEMS is not about avoiding bad news. It's about managing risk responsibly. Part 8. Smart PEMS strategy. Best practices. Build PEMS before launch. Train distributors properly. Track complaints systematically. Conduct regular trend analysis. Respond quickly to incidents. Maintain strong documentation. One important sentence. The strongest medical device companies are not the ones with zero problems. They are the ones that manage problems correctly. Selling medical devices in Hong Kong? Don't let weak PEMS systems, complaint handling failures, poor documentation, delayed investigations put your business at risk. Why choose OMC Medical? PEMS strategies support Hong Kong compliance expertise, complaint handling systems, CAPA guidance, regulatory risk management, end-to-end post-market support. Whether you are launching a new device or improving an existing PEMS system, talk to OMC Medical experts today. If this video helped you understand Hong Kong post-market surveillance requirements clearly, follow OMC Medical for more deep regulatory insights, compliance strategies, and global medical device guidance. See you in the next video.